brothers and sisters in our parishes, but we're not really Catholic unless we, in addition to those two things, we help the poor, whether they're members of our community or not. So all of those things is what the church is about. The Catholic Charities appeal has focused over its 60-year history on the last of those three elements. No, if you read the newspapers over the last several years, we've had some horrible financial experiences. When I first got here, we had a annual deficit, just the annual deficit of more than $60,000 to $400,000 annual deficit for very long without it being back where we were before. So I was in the position of deciding whether or not we have another collection for all those ministries of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia, or that we try to raise the money in a different way. And hearing the various people of the Archdiocese, including the Catholic Charities Board, I decided that we would expand the Catholic Charities appeal, not only to do the things we've done in the past, which is that service of the poor, but also to do other things. And so we're expanding it in that sense, and we're increasing our goal from $10 million to 15, education, evangelization, support of parishes and spiritual life, care of our elderly clergy, and the various mission activities of the Archdiocese.
You sort of like duck your head down and cruise right past them on I-95. They're a lot like Beirut, I sometimes say. Every other house is burned out or bombed out, and they're tough, but they're full of people who have come with a simple and beautiful faith, many of them from Guatemala. It's a tight-knit community, and they need people to be reaching out to them and building relationships. Constantly full of food, it gets a little bit dirty and a little bit dusty, and you get a little set in your ways over 55 years. It needs a refresher. It needs a new outlook somehow. They've been there serving some of the same families for 55 years, so obviously the things we're doing, while needed and good, and they're motivated by great compassion, but the people that are coming still have a need. Drexel highlighted the needs of the Black Catholics and the Native Americans that needed the message of the gospel and the beauty of the Eucharist. Pope Leo XIII looked at her and said, "What about you? What are you going to do?" And that's my challenge to the people watching or listening today or reading about this. The challenges that face us are in your life and in your faces. What are you going to do?
St. Catherine Day School also instructs students with multiple disabilities. We have dedicated and knowledgeable staff at all of these schools that work tirelessly with families and students ranging from 4.5 years old to 21-year-old to ensure that the students reach their spiritual, social, vocational, and academic